It's Friday, July 18th, and this is kind of a SPY midday update about 3 hours into trading. I'm still holding puts that I bought here early in the session. Price started moving down, kind of hit its first target, the pre-market lows and yesterday's close into yesterday's range, kind of holding the midpoint of that area. We had finally on this green bar here a pause that looked like maybe we'd get a little bit of a push back up, which happened for about 2 bars, and now we're starting red again. So obviously in this kind of price action that's unfolding, you kind of see that you had one push down, orderly pause, red bars. You're kind of expecting a second push to these lows. But that's kind of against a big uptrend that's in place, so you don't know for sure if it's going to get there, but that's still what's unfolding until proven otherwise. So again, I'm holding these options. I bought the 630 puts very early. I described in the first video at 420. They just traded at 470, so about a half a point higher. I think they reached a high here of 520. So at its peak, if we get down to those lows again, you could be up about a point on that. There's not much volatility on the SPY today. I mean, the high here 629, 627 low. So it's just a 2-point spread, and this kind of rallied back 1 point. So we'll see if it heads lower. Again, it's just going to be interesting to see if this ends up being some kind of a negative Friday before it's all over. If it can close strongly red, then you'd almost expect follow through going into next week to the downside, and that could mean we are broadening higher highs and then eventual, back to lower lows. Although there's a big buying tail here that to me would lend support if we even come close to heading down there. So it's still a matter of the weekly chart heading up. We don't, it's been a while since we've had a red closing week. And even on these, ever since the bottom here, all the red bars have just been pauses without really much follow through. So we haven't even had another red bar here at all-time highs. So maybe we're due for that. Maybe this is a very good buy opportunity of puts here. If we can come down a little bit more by, you see we're heading to the lows of the day. We're going to see what happens at that inflection point if we head there. To me, it's all price action based as always. I kind of expect this low to be tested given the 2 pushes down, but that would only go to the half point of the prior day, and that could be it for the move. And then maybe we just consolidate in here and maybe we get a reversal, who knows. But I'll watch for price. If we can't get to this bottom, have a big green bar, again, I'm going to do no worse than break even. So I'm just watching it. I'm still, there's not much going on today. There's been a few other trades. I did buy Tesla early. That's working out well so far. Other stocks like Netflix and Meta, they're moving lower on the day, kind of below yesterday's low. So I'm not really looking to buy those. Coinbase had I bought that yesterday at 400. That hit almost 445 today. Had a pretty good strong start, but with such exhaustion risk, that's kind of grinding lower. So, there's been a few stocks moving up, but a lot of stocks are kind of negative, and that's maybe why the SPY is heading lower. And on a Friday, you never know how things are going to end up. So that's just a midday update. I want to see how this bar closes here. If we can get somehow momentum picking up, get below the midpoint of this bar from yesterday, maybe it could be a very big red bar like yesterday. We'll find out. If not, then it might just get 2 pushes down and hold in here, and then depending how it closes, that would kind of lead to what you expect, the week to start next week. If it's red, you'd kind of expect to test lower, but it's a long way to go to kind of test those lows again, although it's certainly possible. We'll see day after day next week what happens. Are we just in a broadening area here, higher highs, and we've already made one lower low, maybe we make another lower low before it's all over. And if we ever get below this area I described, there's a lot of gaps to fill down in here. So, that's something to keep an eye on. But for now, we're just in a big trading range, and this could be the top of the range. So just wanted to follow up. I'm holding on to the puts here. I want to see if it reaches the low of the day. If so, I monitor price action, see what happens. That's an inflection point. Do we get a big reversal, or does it continue lower? And, that's kind of what's unfolding today, Friday, July 18th.